that's when I started looking for answers and stumbled across Dr. Joe Dispenza. That was the first time, like I saw him in the Heal documentary. And so I was like, if I could heal my body, I have to figure out how to heal my mind. But I had to learn how to meditate. And if you asked me at the time, like I was never into this stuff. I would be like, do you know how to sit still? Like, no way that's possible.
Yeah.
But I was so triggered by the outside world. I had to learn how to disconnect and go within. And that's what really got me looking and searching. And that's what started to help me understand how I healed. And that was the foundation of this work that I'm doing now. And just completely transform my life. And for 18 months, I wore this hat. I went to 10 of his events. I mean, back to back, I was like on a mission to be okay. And I have a really good friend who's close with Joe and teaches his work. And I was at this event with him, and there were 3 girls there. The event was all about rewiring your mind. And there were 3 girls there, and they're beautiful, 15, 18, and 20. And they didn't want to talk to my friend because he's a guy. And so they came to me and they're like, hey, you probably don't get this, but like, we want to work on rewiring our minds so that we can love ourselves. 2 of them were bulimic, 1 was anorexic, and they're beautiful, Casper. And I'm looking at them like, I can't see what they see.
Yeah.
But it hit me in that moment. How could I tell them to love themselves when I'm not even loving me? So I made this pact with them in that moment that I never shared with anyone what happened. I never went back on camera. I never went back to Sports Illustrated. I never did anything. I disappeared from social media for 2 years. I mean, I was gone because I just was I didn't want to be seen by the world. Which people are like, that's crazy. But like that was real. Like that is how powerful our mind is, right? It is this place that if there is a thought that grows into a weed, my God, like that is a reality somebody is living, and it's real for them. And it was real for me. But I remember making this pact with them, and I'm like, I'm done. Like I'm done. Like I'm done telling that story. Like this is me now, and I'm accepting it. And it was like, honestly, it was better than like getting the news about my body, because when your mind is not okay, that is like, to me, there's nothing worse. Like I've had both. That's just my opinion. But I was like, oh my God, like, yeah, all I wanted to do was call my mom and dad. I'm like, oh my God, I got to tell them I'm okay. It was like a second chance at life. Again, it was like the death of the old and this new person that I accepted. And so I'm like, oh my God, yes. Trying to call my parents, they're not answering. And finally, like 30 minutes, I am in the absolute bliss, high as you can be, just like, my life is going to be okay. Like that is the feeling, like, oh my God, my life is going to be okay. And then my dad calls, and I'm like, Dad, like so excited. My poor parents have been through so much. And he's calling, and I know immediately something's wrong. And he's calling to tell me that my brother went to bed and he never woke up. And it went from this highest of high to back where I had been before. And it was very hard for me to accept and believe that in the moment. And I just had this really pivotal decision. Like, I can either let this take me out, but I know what that is because I've already lived that path, right? That's disease, that's potentially dying. That's just everything I've already gone through. Or I can take everything I've learned and move forward and do anything I can to help other people. And that's been the mission. But really, that was 2 years ago last month. So now it's just been this goal to empower people that divinity, that whatever you want to call it, the reason that we're talking right now and our hearts are beating and we're not thinking about it, we're breathing and we're not thinking about it, that infinite intelligence that is keeping you alive, everyone alive, no matter what you look like, no matter where you live, that loves you, that loves all of us, that is us. And that power can do anything. That power can heal. That power can create. But you got to be open and conscious to it and of it and ask for it. And yeah, so I just share that because that's what really opened, going through all of those traumas of first the body, but then the mind, and being like, okay, there is systems in place here. There are programs in my mind. There are things that are causing and creating my world, my health, my all of it. And what happens if I could get in there, get in that operating system? And what happens if I can change those beliefs and change those programs for health? What happens if I can regulate my my genes? What happens if I can regulate my immune system? And these things are real and they're true, and people all around the world are doing it every single day.
Yeah. And a lot of times it's the thing, that we have these belief systems, but as you said, they're not conscious. I meet a lot of people that say, I want to heal, I just can't. I can't do this. Right there, I see some belief system that I
Yeah.
can't heal there,
Yeah.
and they're,
Yeah.
no, I tried everything and I truly am writing it down that I want to heal. It's like there is an underlying, again, root cause belief system you may not know about.
Yeah.
This is what Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, Greg
Yes.
Braden all say, that usually sometimes it's even in childhood, you have no recollection. There could be a trauma that happened. And again, it doesn't seem like a traumatic event when you're a child or an adult is looking at be like, that's nothing big. But
Right.
you stored that in your subconscious as a traumatic event that led to a belief system that is now so many years later holding you back and probably keeping you sick.
Yes. Yes. And you nailed that. I mean, if you asked me 3 years ago what your subconscious mind is, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I genuinely didn't. I mean, did I go to college? Yes. I have 3 degrees. Did I ever learn about that? No. Like, no clue. And my boyfriend now, it's like, I look at, we have a crazy book collection. It's incredible. But I'm like, how did you know about this 10 years ago? What kind of life would I have been living? Right. But it's like, so I share that because it's nobody's fault. It's like, if you weren't exposed to it, it's so understandable, right? My parents didn't teach me it because they didn't know it. And that it's passed on information. I think that's the biggest thing when somebody is experiencing disease or an illness, is just being open, right? It's like just being open to the idea that maybe there's something I don't know that could help me, and not have, and start exploring that. Because like you said, consciously you may want something, but subconsciously, like it's at opposition. And so it's this fighting against each other. But once you start to be like, okay, what is the subconscious mind, and how does it work? And how do I get in there? And how do I reprogram it? And, for me, I think I just share in my experience, I was so fixated on healing. And I see that a lot. Like, people get really stuck in the healing phase. And I don't believe we came here to heal. I believe we came here to live the most unbelievable experience and expression of ourselves. And so I think, instead of, just to share my opinion, is like going and looking for, okay, when I was 7, there was this incident and maybe that's the root. It's like, what if we could just focus on the person you wish to become? What if we could start embodying that person right now? And then by default, your belief systems will change, because a belief is just a reoccurring thought you're thinking over and over and over again that you believe is important, but you can change that at any time.